Hey everybody, it's Trash Talk, and Brandon is in the house, and Stuart's in the house. And can you believe we're going to finally wrap up this year?
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I've been you've spent a lot of time all week just thinking about the end of 2020, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure that there's anybody that's going to really care about remembering it.
No, I mean, especially that car behind you.
Yeah, yeah. This is reminiscent of what the year was all about. Just taking the hits.
It looks rough. It looks bad. I mean, and that is the year. That, in a nutshell, is 2020.
That's right. Look at it.
God.
So,
Oh, man. Poor
well,
car.
first and foremost, we want to thank our friends over at the Patriot Sandwich Company for sponsoring our show. And it's been great. They started with us this month, and we're going to finish out the year with them. They still have a tremendous offer for you that if you go into the Patriot Sandwich Company, order a sandwich, whether you order the, the officer size or the enlisted size, you have a choice. You're going to get a free drink if you mention Trash Talk.
That's right.
I learned about you guys on Trash Talk, and I'm here not only for the most delicious sandwich in the world, but I'm going to get a free drink upgrade with it too.
You can't beat that. I mean, look, that's already a positive thing leading into the new year. So
that's right. And David Jordan and his staff over there are incredible people. I don't know if we've mentioned it before, but we should. And that is that some of the profit from the sale of the sandwiches over at Patriot Sandwich Company goes to a nonprofit foundation called We Got Your Six, and that helps veterans. So every time you take a bite out of that sandwich, you're helping a veteran. So that's another reason to go. Plus the decor in the restaurant. It's a small place, but man, he has packed more military memorabilia into that shop. And that is even worth the trip in itself, but you're also going to have a great meal. And you might want to even sit down, have a great meal, and then take a sandwich for the road too.
why not? I mean, those sandwiches are so good, and either size you get, you're going to be happy with it. And you know, being able to eat something that's local, support local, veteran owned, and help the vets out. I mean, you can't beat it.
It's a win. That's what they call a win-win.
Yes, sir.
I know. So here we are. We're wrapping up the year. We got memories. A lot of them we'd like to really forget as quickly as possible. I was trying to think the other day. Do we have any pleasant memories of this year?
Well, I think we all do it to some degree. We have some pleasantries, you know, on a personal level, yeah. But if we want to talk about nationwide, personal or good memories, man, remember back in the day and the beginning of this pandemic, good old March and April, you know, when things really hit and everything got canceled and we got locked down, so to speak.
Right.
Man, that was back in the day when we could all just binge watch Tiger King and just be happy with our stimulus check.
Well, you know, and we sat down and we found out about Netflix and Prime Video and all of that. And when they started saying stay home and take, we all started binge watching and catching up on old movies. But back in February and March, we thought, well, that's fine because pretty soon, you know, May, early June and all, we'll be back to normal and we won't need this. I mean, I'm running out of movies now. I'm watching, I'm watching series, you know.
Yeah.
It's like 8 seasons and I'm already up to season 7.
Well, I remember that too, because what was cool about that back then, it seems so long ago, I mean, it's almost been a year now, was they were cranking out a bunch of stuff. You know, Disney released Pixar's Onward, which was in the movie theater for about a week until they shut it down. And then they threw it right on Disney Plus. And then Netflix came out with their series and their movies. And we're just sitting here like, look, this sucks, but we got the best shows to watch. And y'all got your stimulus checks, you got some money to pay bills or whatever you did with it. And now we're a year in and we're like, man, I long for the days of new shows and another stimulus check.
Yeah, just it's unreal how it, like, every month you think, well, give it 2 more months, in your August and September, and then all of a sudden we're facing Halloween, and how's everybody going to go trick or treating, and then get together for Thanksgiving, and there were so many virtual Thanksgivings where
Yeah.
we sat at our table having our Thanksgiving, and then did a Zoom with the family who were sitting at their table having their Thanksgiving. Now, what's the prospect for New Year's Eve? I mean, are they going to party in the streets, or are they going to do it virtually?
Look, I don't know. I mean, you've got a situation here where last New Year's, everybody was celebrating, having a good time, making their resolutions. By February, I ripped up my resolution and used it as toilet paper because I couldn't find any. So, I
Or
mean,
Lysol or Purell.
we still can't find Lysol. We'll get to that in a minute, but I think people are going to stay home. Look, the clubs aren't open. The big venues aren't open. The bars are going to be 50-50. I think the majority of people are going to stay home, and maybe they'll do a virtual toast. Maybe they'll have a handful of people over. I'm not doing anything. Luke and I are going to hang out with a pizza and zone out. I mean, that's my plan this year, So that's what I think. And it's kind of depressing. I feel bad for the businesses and stuff, but I also feel bad just because I think we're all antsy. We're all burnt out. We're all tired. We're tired of hearing about it. We're tired. We're just tired, and I think we just got to make the best out of it.
And while we'd all like to say, okay, as of midnight on the 31st, the slate's going to be wiped clean, and we're going to go into 2021, and everything is going to be fine. But now we don't even know how far we're going to get into 2021 and still have all this crap, when the vaccine is going to finally be available, and then how long is it going to take to get it distributed and everybody get vaccinated, and then feel good enough about going back out in public.
Well, then you have also, everybody assumes, like you said, that once 2021 hits, boom, it's magic, and somebody takes the Men in Black flash, and we forget about the previous year, and everything's good. And the reality is, I hate to be the gloom and doom guy, but I'm going to be that guy. It's not going to be that way. I think we're still in for a long haul of trials and troubles from the economy, from jobs, from health, and just everything, the aftermath. My buddy told me, 2020's that part of the storm when your windows break open and you hear the tornado coming, your roof's ripped off, and you happen to fall asleep. You wake up and you walk outside and see the damage. That's 2021. So I think we're going to have to deal with 2021. I mean, do we even have a president now? Are we sure? Do we know?
Yeah, we're still waiting for January 20th to come around to see who's going to be occupying the White House. Is somebody going to have to be physically evicted?
Well, I feel bad. I don't want to make a joke, but I'm going to. Look, a couple of weeks ago, Biden sprained his ankle playing with his dog. I mean, he hasn't even made it into the White House yet, and he's in danger. I don't know.
Right.
I feel bad for the guy.
It'll all come out, as they say, it'll all come out in the wash
at some point. And I was hoping, I mean, if, we make jokes, but if COVID was the apocalypse, we really got screwed over here. This is a horrible one. Although I did just read an article from Denmark. They just killed, about a month ago, they killed thousands and thousands of minks, the animals, because they were worried about a mutation in COVID-19 that was connected to the minks. And I know this sounds like a sci-fi movie, but they killed them and they buried them. Well, just about a week ago, the minks were coming back through the ground, rising up like zombie minks. and people were freaking out because they thought they weren't dead, and they were literally, it looked like they were digging as they were coming out of the ground. Come to find out, it was all the gases from their death, the after nasty stuff that happens, and it was pushing them through the ground. So now they have to go in and incinerate them. That's what 2020 is right now. That's the end of 2020. Zombie minks going into 2021.
So now you're going to see this big protest in the streets, save the minks.
PETA's having a field day with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, every year has its struggles, but I do feel like 2020 did not get a break, and I don't know what to look forward to in 2021. I really hope that, from a I don't know, business aspect, that the world and the economy gets back on track for people's sake so they can pay their bills. And I hope we don't have another sort of lockdown situation. My fear is that might happen early. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this vaccine or anything. It's all unknown to me,
Yeah. Are we going to have a Super Bowl this year? Are there going to be any fans there?
Does it even matter? Because some of these teams have canceled game after game. I mean, I think that anybody that wins any championship there this year has to have an asterisk by it, because it's not even a full season. It's not even it's just kind of like it's kind of like the Tyson fight. It's just an exhibition,
Yeah, listen, every week they postpone a bunch of games because some of the members of the teams have come down with COVID and it all gets postponed. They're going to be playing football in June.
I know. I mean, and just think about it. Hockey's supposed to be starting up now. I haven't heard anything about that. Baseball, believe it or not, is not that far away. The NBA is not that far away.
However, the upside to hockey is they've been playing behind glass for decades.
You know what? You're right. You're right. And that's probably the best ventilated stadium other than an outdoor football field ever.
Yeah, they you say, hey, we've been playing COVID style for decades. And there's always been a glass separation between the fans and the players. So let the games begin.
You know what I kind of look forward to, and I don't know how it's going to work out. I want to see what they're doing with concerts. I miss live music. I've been watching stuff when I can, but I had tickets to 3 shows last year, and I got refunds for 2 of them, and one I declined the refund, being optimistic. But I don't even know if we're going to have concerts in 2021. It's so
or
weird.
will they do the same thing that they do in some of the sports stadiums? That they're going to fill the concert halls with cardboard people in the seats, and they'll have an applause track, through the sound system. When the band finishes playing a tune, they're going to have this thunderous applause coming from all these cardboard people sitting in the seats.
They might do it to where you buy a ticket and you're one of the virtual heads on one of the pretend people in the audience.
Right. Yeah. You got to think outside the box.
I guess my thing is we've been and I said it earlier, we're so ready for 2020 to be done. Are we really sure that we want to do that? I mean, I hope 2021's better. You got to stay positive and you got to do the best you can. You got to take care of yourself. I just think the first couple months are going to be rough. I really do.
Yeah. So do you make resolutions every year?
I don't know. Part of me is yeah, this year I want to do this, or hopefully, or what. I don't know if I stick to them very well. I do know that I completely detox in January, so that's cool. I don't drink for the whole month of January. Sometimes I do mentally.
And nobody wants to be around him in February.
No, they don't. But I do mentally, I think, say some things, and I try to be realistic about it. I'm not one of those people that's like, I got to get a gym membership and the first 30 days look like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't do that, but I think I try to be realistic. on a financial level, or this is what I want to do with Luke this year, or I find something that I'm not good at and maybe try that, or I don't know. Do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, last year I joined a gym in January, and I just got a notice from the gym, and they wanted to know if I wanted to renew my membership for this year, and was I planning to show up this year? Just so, and I thought, well, wait a minute. I thought I could lose weight just by buying the gym membership. I didn't
That's
realize
it.
you had to go. But no, I made a resolution last year to lose 20 pounds,
All
and
right.
I only missed it by 30.
Hey.
But I blamed it on COVID. So, I
Yeah.
have to come up with a new plan for 2021.
I gained my COVID-19 pounds in the first couple months when I wasn't working because everything was shut down. And the days that Luke was busy or not here, and I woke up at 9 and was like, well, yeah, breakfast beer makes sense, you know?
Yeah. I know there was a big spike in the sale of sweatpants.
Yeah, for sure. And extra large everything. I mean,
Right,
uh,
right.
I, I did, but yeah, I try to look at a realistic resolution. Last year for my my New Year's resolution, I just wanted to make it through the year without strangling anybody. I was I was frustrated.
And
I
how
was
did
going
that
through.
go?
Well, I was, I hate to be all personal, but everybody knows me. I was going through a divorce, so just to try to maintain my cool and not lose my mind, and but I'm good. Hey, we made it, and life's okay.
That's right. And now you're going to 2021 and saying, what do I do for an encore?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, I survived. Luke and I are solid. What's the encore? I made it through COVID. I made it through Tiger King and some random crazy election, and no movie theater, no sports.
I mean, go ahead, hit me again. How much can you take? I could take anything.
I know. And at this point, like even the riots and the protests have dialed down, or at least we're not hearing about it. It's just not there, So even the rioters are bored.
I'd say it was a year it was a year to remember and a year to forget.
Yeah, I definitely think, if I can be positive, I definitely think it was a year to learn. I think that if you didn't look back and learn something during this time, whatever that may be, I think you missed out because you had all the time in the world to reflect and make some changes and just kind of look inward. So I think if you didn't do that this year, then I kind of think you missed out.
Yeah, I think the main sentiment was, holy crap, I hope we don't have to go through another year like that.
I don't know. I'm growing out my end of the days beard, so I'm prepared to start looking like Mad Max in the Thunderdome in a couple months. I'm ready.
Speaking of Mad Max and Thunderdome, because of COVID and everything, a lot of people are probably living in their automobiles.
I better not be living in that one.
Like the one behind me. Yeah, would you believe there's a family of 6 living in there?
I joke, but it's sad. It is
Yeah.
sad. It's, I've been blessed to be where I'm at, last year or this year. I'm not going to say there wasn't some tough moments, but, I do look at some of the other people that I know personally that have just, it's scary. And, as much as there's people working with, your bill collectors and your mortgage companies trying to do the best they can, they still got to pay bills too. So there's this, it's tough.
Well, so in other words, we're not painting the brightest portrait yet.
No, I just peed in that guy's cornflakes. Sorry guys, but
Although you're in the hospitality industry, and I remember my father always used to say, that the bars was usually a pretty safe investment because when times were bad, people drank And when times were good, people drank. In fact, when times were bad, they probably drank more than when they were good. But that was, and especially neighborhood bars.
Yeah.
You couldn't put any food on the table, but boy, you always had a few bucks in your pocket to go down and get a cold brew.
Then the thing is, though, there's still parts of Texas and other states, the bars aren't even open still, um, I know down in Dallas, they're very limited. And even here, like it just doesn't feel the same. So, when the bars start hurting, things are bad.
Right, right. But aren't there bars now that are putting plexiglass in between the stools?
Yeah. So back in Michigan, we're blessed in Texas because we can almost drink and eat outside year round. I mean, throw a couple heaters up and you're okay. In Michigan, it's a little bit different story. But now they're building these domes outside, and it's like a 2-person dome where you can go outside, sit in the dome. It's ventilated but heated, and you can have a beer or drink outside in the middle of Detroit in January. It's crazy.
Oh, so social distancing taken to a new level.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it started in Germany, of course, and they, obviously, Germans know their drinks and they know how to. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let that go.
Yeah, nothing,
But anyway,
nothing's going to stop them from drinking ever.
never. Um, and so it's a company that's been building these little igloo dome, whatever you want to call them. So what's the one thing that for you, the one thing going into 2020 that you want or that you hope for, I guess?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I really would just like to be able to go into a restaurant and sit down and have a nice dinner, and maybe even talk to the people at the next table. That's right.
Yeah.
The people at the next table are 3 or 4 booths away. But also I think just getting together with friends. I was part of a breakfast club for a while, and we used to meet every couple of weeks on a Friday morning for an hour, and everybody would have breakfast and some good conversation. And now that was put on hold.
Yeah.
So you miss some of that personal, and also I think of the sports experience too, to be able to I mean, I'm hoping now the basketball season, we don't know what's going to happen with the basketball season because there aren't anybody in the stands yet. They're still playing, but I guess we're all relegated to just watching it on TV, which some of us have enjoyed doing that anyway. But I'm a baseball fan, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that by the time we get to opening day, which is usually in April, that the stadiums will start to fill up with people again, even if they
Sure.
have certain restrictions. But it's outdoors. The weather is getting warmer. Hopefully, we'll have a vaccine available, because I just miss that crowd, setting.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, it's a couple things. I would love to go back to an FC Dallas game with Luke. I mean, he might still be a little young, but I'm going to try. I know they're having some people there, but I just personally wasn't ready. I like to do that without really stressing about it.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to be able to see more people, like without virtual. I've done virtual happy hours a lot with people from out of town or just a couple hours away. I'd like to just do a real happy hour with them, or go drive to a house and hang out and not have those restrictions. And then of course the economy and finance thing is always something I focus on, and I hope for that. But on a far fact, I take these vitamins, and I've always taken vitamins, but I these G and C vitamins, whatever. I kind of switch them up every now and then to get different stuff. And my my urine is like Gatorade green now. It's like neon green. So I'm hoping that this is the trail for me to becoming a superhero. In 2021, that somehow that's a sign that what I'm taking in these vitamins is going to give me some superpowers.
You realize though, when this whole thing is finally over, and we do go out to interact with each other, and leave our homes, we're going to have to put pants on to do it.
That's true.
You know,
And I
because
haven't been wearing pants in a year,
yeah, you
even
know, I
right
mean,
now.
virtually, I'm sitting inside. I got shorts on all day. If I even bother to put the shorts on, I know I'm painting a very, very bad picture here.
Yeah, well, try being in a dump with no pants. You should see what's going on down there.
That's right. But, you know, and I cringe when I do have to start putting the pants back on because I'm not sure whether I can get them buttoned and zipped.
I know. I need a couple more months to get back into pre-COVID 2020
Yeah.
shape. And I'm not there yet. I may have slimmed down a little, but there's still a spare tire going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm sticking with sweatpants.
Well, you know what I think is gonna last is the masks. I don't see the masks going away really anytime soon. Even after let's say there's a mandate gone, I still think you're gonna have a lot of people wearing them. I like the masks. I'll be honest with you. I buy so many masks.
It's a huge industry right now.
I love it.
Talk about sports, man. I'll tell you, these sports teams, whatever they're losing in stadium revenue, they're making it up in the sale of masks because they've all got the gator type things and all the regular masks, the shields with their NFL and MLB logos and all on it. So, and all the college teams.
It's like the new Nike. They're going to get mask sponsorships, you know, and get out there. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm in the Wild West. So I get happy, and then I adjust my mask to my mood, you know.
Yeah. Amazing. So do you have plans for New Year's Eve?
Just being low key this year. I don't even know what day it's on. I forgot. But just Luke and I are going to hang out. You know, we're going to do some pizza and junk food. Let him stay up late. He won't make it to midnight, and I won't want him to make it to midnight. But we're going to watch some movies and just hang out. You know, nothing exciting at all. Not even virtual happy hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn on on New Year's Eve, probably watch the ball drop in Times Square, and 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and watch, those half a dozen people in the street hug each other.
Right.
Normally they fill that place up with like 1 million people, and now social distancing, there's only going to be about 12 of them.
Yeah, I remember even last year, because where I was, we closed at midnight. So we decided to close at 5 p.m. because there was no reason to do a big New Year's Eve party at midnight when you got to kick everybody out. So we closed at 5 to let the staff just go have fun. And Luke and I just hung out. We played music all night, had a little dance party. He was in bed by 10. I think I was in bed before the ball dropped. I mean, that's what happens. So.
Yeah, and you wonder what's going to happen when all this does. I mean, are we going to be able to get these New Year's Eve parties with the reveling in the streets and all? Is that all going to return, by New Year's Eve of 2021?
I don't know, because I don't think that the vaccine that everybody's talking about, it's not like everybody in the world is going to be able to get that in the next 40 days, And then again, I'm sorry, I'll just be real. I'm like when the new iPhone comes out, I like to wait a year and see what happens with the iPhone before I buy it. I don't need a vaccine right away and maybe turn into something,
Yeah, probably by this time next year, they'll be up to the iPhone 20.
Yeah, there'll be the iPhone 20 and then the COVID vaccine 5.0, I'll do that one. The first one I'm going to hold off on for a little bit. So.
Yeah, speaking of COVID-19, did you ever wonder, were there 18 others before that? Where did they come up with COVID-19?
Because it came out in 2019.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in 20.
No, it came. No. No, I think it started in 19. No, it did, because we heard about it over in Wuhan or whatever that place is that made this mess. And we heard about it over there. And then we weren't, at least me, I say we, I wasn't even thinking about it because I was like, It's over there. And then it was about February, the first cases started to happen here in the United States. And then March was when the gauntlet started to get dropped.
Right,
so
right.
it was 19. But I didn't realize that there was other, like, I didn't realize that H1N1 was part of a coronavirus. I had no idea. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I learned something.
Yeah, I also wonder, will Corona beer ever be the same?
Yeah, it's still going to taste like crap and nobody's going to drink it.
Yeah, the sales of Corona have gone way down.
They need to change the name.
Yes.
You know, or make a joke about it, you know, just call it the Rona beer. And I don't know, just do something with it, because they're toast. Whenever you hear Corona now, you're not going to think about that beer.
That's right. You know, and you're also going to question that slice of lime that you're putting in it.
Are we going to even be able to do that now at a bar? You know, I don't drink a lot of fruit or drink a lot of beers that require fruit, but are they going to even be able to do that anymore? You know, like, or is it done? Or are they going to have pre-packaged limes?
I think we will be able, if we ever see Purell again, because you can wipe your hands before you slice that lime.
Well, my hope for the manufacturers out there, Purell needs to get with the program. Lysol, you're on my hit list. You guys need to get with the program. Stop tweeting me. I think they did stop, and we got to get it. I mean, it's been a year now, guys. There's no excuses. No excuses.
That's right. Well, we're hoping that that's what the new year will bring.
Lysol and Purell. We've lowered the bar. We've lowered the bar.
Yeah, right. You know, and also we're buying brands of toilet paper that we've never heard of before.
I agree.
Just to have it. But well, anyway, we for both of us, we certainly hope you do have a good, peaceful transition into the new year. I hope we have a great new year. Past everything politically, medically, other way we could possibly think of. But go out and make it. And also, one of your resolutions is to make it over to the Patriot Sandwich Company for a good sandwich in 2021. And don't forget to mention Trash Talk, and you'll get the upgrade to a free drink with your sandwich.
Absolutely.
And go out and have a great time. I got to go start up the car and get out of here. So, and that'll take a little bit of while. It'll probably take until the beginning of the year anyway.
Well, I guess we'll see everybody next year. You know, be safe. Don't forget to follow us on, you know, the YouTube channel, Spotify, Anchor, all those. You can find our links everywhere on our social media. Give us a shout.
We're everywhere. So go out and make it a good. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.